Hello, it's John. Wow, I feel I've caught some of the sun. Let's go. Let's go to a stone circle. So we've had a nice lazy morning. We'll say lazy. We went for a run and then a long walk, almost an hour walk into town. Patch had a good sleep. Oh, he sat behind me on the bed behind me. And when I come back here, I'll be filling back up with water and, most importantly, emptying the toilet. And these guys, I can vouch for it with their big camper van that the water takes a long time to fill up. But yeah, it was really beautiful to do a wee tour of Stanness. Oh, I've not even put into the GPS where I'm going. So I will do that. Okay, sat-nav is updated. It's funny, this feels a lot like my daily commute. My daily commute to a stone circle. Now, I might have already given away this in the title. I didn't feel strongly about going back to the Ring of Brodgar, but definitely to the stones of Stanness. So let's see what happens, because so right now we're going there. It is 2:18 just now in the afternoon, and my plan is to first of all go to the stones of Stanness. They're the big ones. If there's no spaces, no parking spaces, I'm going to take that as a sign to go over to the Ring of Brodgar instead, for which there are likely spaces. And the phases of these 3 visits, the 3 days of visits, have been, the first day was learning all about the past. And to be honest, that was my expectation, was, helping with activation and learning all about the past. And then I felt the second day would be more about the present, and yet even more was revealed, and in particular that the Ring of Brodgar was designed to support the unity of humanity, and the nearby stones of Stanness, that they were constructed by extraterrestrials with the intention at the beginning of the I keep wanting to describe it as the seeding of humanity. So that was hugely powerful. Someone's moving house, I think. And I did spend a bit of time at the end of yesterday's video, having visited the stones of Stanness last, just that it's a lot, right? It's a lot to take on board. It's a lot to integrate, and I don't just listen to what my guides have to tell me and then take it as verbatim. It's still up to me. I have my own free will. I get to decide what I accept and what I don't. So that feels good. The reflections I've had, I must admit, I was up late last night, it's about 1 a.m. and I spent a lot of time watching the sky. I was lay there in my bed in my camper van, staring out the window over these beautiful mountains, and it just felt very ethereal. It's probably a way of describing it. Because it's so bright here at night. You'd think I'd know this route now that it's the third time. We're basically just following the road around Stanness. Thank you. Thank you. And then we go. Yeah, if I really know it, I could give you directions without looking at the sat nav, right? Well, you can't tell if I'm looking at it or not. So follow the road around here, and I thought we were going to go left, but we don't. We go right. Strangely, it's just signposted as an industrial estate. But we definitely go past the industrial estate. Sometimes you leave me comments and say, "Oh, John, I get really anxious because you're driving on the wrong side of the road." It's funny that, isn't it? And it's also interesting. You'd think, I thought that if I hired a car in a different country, they're building another stone wall. That's so cool. I thought if I hired a left-hand drive car in, for example, France, then when I'm driving on the right-hand side of the road, I'd find it easier. But actually, for me, I find it's like a double kind of learning curve. So I just felt that one learning curve, which is taking your existing vehicle, which has a steering wheel on the wrong side, because my steering wheel is on the right side, and then driving on the right side, actually easier, which is really funny, isn't it? You do have some more blind spots, and you can always add like little stick-on mirrors, etc., that can help. And yeah, I covered in yesterday's video where we visited the 4 locations of Scarabray, and then Bercy, Earl's Palace, and then Ringabrodker, and then the Stones of Stanness. And it was, in hindsight, it was probably one visit too much. Hatch and I were just exhausted, and it took me quite a while to rest and recover. And so today I really just wanted to kick around the campsite for the day and do nothing before we head home. So I'm not sure what my journey will be like home. If I was clever, I would have gone into the ferry terminal and asked and said, could I change my booking to, for example, tomorrow night? Because I really enjoy driving through the night, but I've got the opposite. Tomorrow I'm going super early in the morning, so I don't know what it'd be like driving all the way through the day. Well, busier for starters. But I feel guided to just look up. You can do that thing on Google Maps where you just create a route and then you search on the route. So you hit the magnifying glass and then you search. So I'm going to look for historic sites, castles. Technically, I've not visited a castle on this trip, even though because the last place was a palace. But there's an abundance of places to visit. I don't know if you saw there, but just straight ahead of that road was tracks that just go straight into the water, and you do wonder if someone just kept driving at speed and ended up in the water. the good news is that I think it's quite shallow, so whilst the car might not be okay, the inhabitants would. So here's hoping for some good weather, and I'd like to ask my parking fairy, dear parking fairy, please give us a space for our camper van at the Standing Stones of Stanness, please. It's really funny. I'm sure Stanness means stone. I feel Ness is it's a bit like a bay. I'm not really sure what it means. I should really look it up, like Loch Ness. But it's kind of like calling the stones, the standing stones of the Stones Bay. And I don't know if you really heard it on the tour video. I just posted, hopefully, likely I'll post it just before this video, and that's a walking tour of Stromness that I did with Patch. I don't know if you'll have heard any of the Orkney accent, but I really love it. It sounds this lovely mix to me of Scottish and Irish and some other influences that are difficult to detect, and I really love their accent, and it always feels very upbeat and positive, which is a lovely aspect. Yes, just over to the left I can see down by the water the Standing Stones of Stanness village. And Maze How is I believe it's a burial place. You get fuel there, but I don't really need fuel. You can see there's lots of houses with air source heat pumps. I don't know what their services are like here, you know, the reliability of power. I do remember when I was a kid and we were on the ferry to Shetland, that they held up the ferry for the TV engineer, because unless the TV engineer turned up, there was going to be no TV signal on the island. So everyone was like, "It's okay, let's wait. We'll wait for him." I love that. And yeah, straight ahead. Isn't it lovely, this road? So straight ahead is the Ring of Brodgar. Wow. It certainly feels like one of these big grand driveways towards, you know, come and check out my stone circle. I have this large driveway towards it. But yeah, I find the dating fascinating, because I've read quite a few different dates. The oldest I've seen is 5,500 years old, and then the youngest I've seen, and this is for Ring of Brodgar, is 4,600 years old. Well, we have lots of spaces here at the far more impressive but less popular Stones of Stanness. So let's go in there as promised. Thank you, Parking Ferry. Tons and tons of space. So let's just go up here. And the weather's good. I wish the weather had been like this the whole time. Wonderful. It's quite hard to tell if you're in the spaces or not, but there's tons of space. Okay. We're here. Let's do this. Okay. We're here. That's so beautiful. So I have brought my wee sonics. I did swither about bringing the infrared camera. Stones are fascinating in infrared, but I had to choose, and let's see what the Sonics picks up. Sonics isn't really great for during the day, but I was guided to take it along. So let's do that. Pet has already found somewhere to sniff. So asking permission of the gatekeepers, the elementals. There's a kid that's climbed up in there, it's really cool. Asking permission to help with the healing, integration and activation of the sacred sites and being amongst people here. Let's see what we experience. I think my selfie stick is trying its very best to keep level, even though I've not quite positioned my phone correctly. We had lovely weather, and I love these dramatic clouds. Wonderful. And this field is beautiful. Makes you want to run straight into it. I'm just going to take our time because there's plenty of people, but also Patches enjoying his adventure. Yeah, loving these clouds. Very dramatic. I think Patch is quite tired, so I don't think he'd thank you for a long walk. There's a giant stone straight down here. Perhaps, and I've not visited it yet, so perhaps we should go and say hello to it. Hopefully it's safe enough to visit. More than happy to join the other people, but I feel that, well, I feel guided to it. It's calling me. Maybe the stone predates the other stones, I don't know. Maybe it's even part of the same formation. I just got his head stuck in a bush intentionally. Yeah, it's lovely here. You can see the stones. Come on, Patch. Good boy. Wouldn't it be wonderful to live next to these? Well, maybe you might not enjoy all the visitors, but really wonderful. And it says there's a sign here for, I can't quite read it, is it Bar House? Bar House Neolithic Village. Barn House. Lovely. Oh, there's some people down there. I've never even heard of this. And it's a walk down there. Ooh. That's very luring, appealing. So we're out on the road, so we're just going to concentrate on not getting run over, Patch. I love it, you can smell the salt. Some seaweed. It's interesting there's no clear walkway to this larger stone here. To me, this larger stone feels it's a gateway, because right there is the ring of Brodgar, And you can see just behind us the stones of Stanness. Patch is a bit tired, so I'm just going to take our time. It's just a short walk, Patch, just a few minutes. And just come on to here, Patch. Good boy. So enjoy here. Doing just great. Almost there. Oh, you can drive right up to it. That'd be handy, wouldn't it? What a beautiful stone. So I'm just greeting the stone. It's giant. I feel my heart opening, and this is it's a stone that is a gatekeeper. Its purpose is to help open your heart when you arrive at these sites. Just stunning. Just giant as well. That has stood the test of time. That must have been very hard to erect. So let's go up through here. It's asking permission to touch the stone. It's a the stone says, "Yes, please do. You need it." Okay, just come here, Patch. Intarama sano uro tikimichia sanamaya. We come from across this universe to connect with and to celebrate this beautiful stone, these beautiful lands on this beautiful planet. Wow. For all those watching this video, I wish that you could touch this stone with me. It is just wonderful. It is a loud tractor. It's a real honor to connect here. We just stand up against it, just lean against it. Wow, and look at this big crack across it as well. Megalithic. I just feel my heart opening, releasing anything into the ground that no longer serves my highest good, and celebrating this beautiful megalith. And I know one day I'll come back. I won't wait another 32 years to visit you. Thank you so much, Stone. Wow. We can have a little look around the other side of it as well. Try not to fall. You're a bit caught up, Patch. Your paw? And the other paw? Good boy. Well done. That was good. Yeah, it's incredible. There's a white car coming, so I'll just wait for it to pass. And once it's passed, we'll just take a wee walk around. I'm just hoping to get a wee glance at the stone here. Try not to get run over. Just to see if there was any graffiti left by Vikings or other. No. Not that I see. The beautiful swirls. I tried the Psionics camera somewhat inevitably. It's too bright, but I'll have a bit more space and time over at the main stones, so we can do that. There's a wee path in here. Don't know where it goes, but feels like it might be, well, it's definitely safer than the road. This looks like this is where I should have been. Oh, this is great, Patch. This is much better. What lovely locals for, thank you for creating this safe path. If only I'd paid more attention. I love these clouds. Just these beautiful contrasts. It looks just like what you see in the camera in real life. Really beautiful contrast. Oh, look at that. That's wonderful. Those big ripples in the sky. Come on, Patch. I feel a lot lighter. I feel a lot lighter since that the gateway stone. Oh, Pat just twisted me around. So that was a wonderful experience. Bless you, Patch. Yeah, I definitely feel just lighter and brighter. I'll let you know if I have any crazy dreams tonight. I wonder how many of these stone circles actually existed, you know, back in the day, back when these were built, because surely this is just a fraction. When they're hard to ignore, right? They're giant and they've lasted for 5,000 years. So that's incredible. I'm getting buzzed. These flies. Oh, who would have thought? Well, the people have left. I thought my meditation message today was to be amongst the people, and that was one of the reasons why I went into the town. There are other reasons why we're guided to do this, right? Which is, I can go in through the back. That's handy, Patch. It's quicker than walking all the way around the front. We can always take a look at the Neolithic village down there as well. Isn't it fascinating that these stones are much less popular? Let's take a wee look on the camera as well. Using my sonics. It's quite hard not to shake when Patch is busy pulling on the lead. It looks very similar in the sonics. Just change this mode. I can't show you the sonics. Night vision while filming, well, it's like a whiteout. Let me see if I can adjust. Make it darker. It's having very little effect. You can just hear me clicking away. But yeah, if you could see through the sonics, that would be it. Now I feel like I should have brought my infrared camera. Come on, Patch. Let's go and say hello to the sheep as well. Patch loves it here. He loves all the smells. The stones are asking me, from my experiences yesterday, what I think of their placement by extraterrestrials, and they're asking, have I integrated that yet? And they're not saying, they're not forcing a. This way, Patch. Sorry, Mr. Gate. That'll wake the sheep up a bit. Hello, sheep. There's tons of sheep poo, so it's definitely fertile here. Hello. So to answer the question fully, I accept the message of extraterrestrials placing these stones here. Wow, my ears, I'm just stopping for a second because my ears are ringing nice and loud. And the stones are saying, so if you accept the extraterrestrial placement of these stones, do you remember your involvement, John? Wow. They're asking, do I remember my involvement, and do I remember my stone? Patches found his stone. Feels this. So earlier, when we came yesterday, this stone here felt the strongest, but just now this stone here felt stronger. So let's stand on this first of all, to stand with the giants. Umma indakara sonoro umma takama. Arcturian, Palladian, Syrian, Lyran, and then Andromedan to the left. Patch is determined to go somewhere. Where are you from, Patch? Yeah, just phenomenal. Let's take a moment. I'm also going to try the Sonex camera. May as well get the footage, even if it's totally too bright for a night vision camera. Wow. Very cool. What is it, Patch? I can hear. It sounds like a goose. Or maybe a duck. And the avians. Wow. Is that goose or duck is making that noise? I was drawn to the avians and their involvement here as well. They're very, very high vibration, beautiful avian beings. I've interacted the most with the blue avians, but there are many. Wow. Patch is pulling hard on the lead. I don't really know what he's doing. You coming back over? Let's have a look at this stone. It says something on here. It says W Fleet, I think. W flat. That P. It's interesting. On the camera you can see writing, but you can't really see it to the naked eye. I wonder why that is. So I'm being called over to the stone patch. Let's head over. This one here for download and integration of ancient wisdom. I now cannot remember what I said about the different galactic races. It felt Palladian? That one on the right there? I'm standing on one just now. Oh, to stand with these giants, such an honor. Thank you. Let's go and take a look. Oh, so we're to stand here on this stone. Oh, fabulous. Taramaka. Opening up all my chakras to receive. Ine Rama Shinyo Moroko. To receive these beautiful messages, ancient wisdoms and technologies of these stones. And Charama Karama. To receive them all at this time. Wow, I can only describe the sensation as feeling all of my chakras opening up and this tingly, spidery sensation at the end of around the edges of the chakras, which is just wonderful. Wow, thank you, Stone. Patch is getting his own upgrades too. What does that feel like, Patch? Is that good? Just amazing. There's some markings here as well. It shows up so much. Oh yeah, Jorg. Can you see that? There is Jorg. Jorg Gooch. Or Goch. There's quite a lot of writing on this one. Just slowly share. Wow. Stunning. Thank you. Thank you for that beautiful activation. Let's go over here to this last stone. And this one's so thin, the other one's maybe double the thickness of this one. And it looks like someone's placed some mortar around the edges. It does feel like it was once thicker. I love the weathering and the moss, it's beautiful. Yeah, each stone has a very different energy. I feel the warmth of the sun. It's been much hotter earlier today. I'm really interested in the shape. You see these diagonal tops. Just wonderful. And I can't see any graffiti on here. And I'm tempted to just leave, but let's now head back over and see this prehistoric village, as I feel guided to go. This feels that it was the site another stone. So there's one, another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. This is where I received the healing the other day. Isn't it funny? It's been raining, so no other no other day could I have laid down without getting a wet bum. Hello. You're a lovely sheep. These clouds just continue to, what's the phrase, fail to disappoint. And yeah, it's a shame that these stones that, you know, created by extraterrestrials and mankind, that we've also been knocking them down and then putting them back up. Just free patch. Sorry, patch. There you go. Sorry, keep going. Okay, buddy. This way. Come on, patch. This way. It looks like a very short walk over here. I'm just going to spin you around. This patch is twisting me around. Let's head over here. It's funny, do you ever wonder if it's Patch doing the real work here? Bless you, Patch. It's really Patch's YouTube channel, but he lets me do the editing and the talking to the humans. I wonder how many past lives I've shared with Patch. Feels like a lot. I wonder how many times I've been his dog or been his pet. That also feels like a lot. And this is a solar panel with a battery for an electric fence. I've not seen one of those before. And lambs. Oh, the beautiful lambs. I say lambs, they kind of look a bit teenagery. And then power lines running through here. I always feel it's fascinating that when you cross a lot of ley lines, you often see a lot of the power lines running in a similar path. And I feel that with power lines, those that build them will do so, you know, a combination of factors, but it includes the path of least resistance and also, you know, being able to connect to, you know, to locals, the people that want to use it. Wow, this is very cool. This place is free, Patch. So this is the prehistoric village. Wow. So what is this? We saw the sign, right? Barn house. I think you can walk. This is similar to Skara Brae, yet there's no one here. And you can walk into it. Let's go and have a wee look. It's maybe not fully showing up on the camera yet. Well, let's go and have a look at the signs first, because I'd like a little bit more context, at least. Ooh, very cool. So this is the Barnhouse Village. In 1984, they made a surprise discovery. Was this discovered when I was last here? Yeah, it must have been 10 years or so before. They think it's about 5,000 years old. I love that. About 5,000 years old. similar to Skara Brae, and they found it very interesting that it's set here in amongst the over there is the standing stones we were at, and then just over where? Over there? Yeah, there. There is the Ring of Brodgar. They said they might have even built the circle. They don't know. They just said there's some pottery found. That's some of the shards they found. Similar pottery has been found in the south of England and mainland Scotland, a clear indication that ideas were transferred, often between distant communities. And then there's some of the pictures. And this is what they would have had. So they would have had these big domes over the top. Okay, great. Let's go have a wee look. We can walk in, that's so cool. It's beautifully kept. I'm just going to ask permission because this is someone's home across space and time. Oh, there's a second and third and fourth. Oh, I didn't realise there's loads of these. Okay, great. Getting there, John. We're getting there. So let's enter patch. Is it okay to enter, please? He said, yes, please do. We've been waiting for you. So I'm to walk clockwise. This is the larger of the homes, and this is where they'd also perform ceremonies. The ancestors here are saying that they did also perform ceremonies at the stones. They did not erect the stones at Stanness, but they did erect the stones at the Ring of Brodgar. Fascinating. And they said that this building was built before, and it was actually used for the same ceremonies. And they realized as they learned more about the interactions across not just what is now the UK, but across the world from many other visiting people from different countries, that they needed a bigger boat, like in the Jaws movie, that they needed a bigger place to be able to represent all of humanity. Wow, I feel remembrance coming through here. It's beautiful. Wow. I'm just standing in the center here. It's such an honor to be able to walk on this place. I'm so glad we came over here. I didn't know what to expect in the field. It's stunning. Ceremonies of old. We thank the ancestors for their permission in entering the space, for the constructions of stones and the sacred sites. And we honor you and remember you. They said that actually there were many, many more houses in this area, not just here. And so leaving the boundary of the home, and we're going into the next home here. They're saying this is where the chieftain lived. Wow, so much to take in. I would have so easily have missed all this if I'd just gone home. The feeling is this goes down deeper into the earth, and there'd be a big roof over the top. Some of these slates were flattened and they've been put back up as part of the restoration. So it's not, the ancestors here are saying it's not quite how it would have been, but it's close, and that they honor the reconstruction. Wonderful. Oops. And then now over to, this looks like the smallest of houses. the UFO landing pad, I love that. Their words, not mine. And here, feels like home. Yeah, 5,000 years ago this land was much higher. The water level's much lower. So these were really closer up the tops of hills, which is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for allowing us in your home. I hope that people visit my home in 5,000 years' time and like it as much as I like these people's homes. And there's a stone, there's a wee standing stone just down there. So they're saying that there's more houses under the water. They may show up in scans of the water at some point in the future. Yeah, just wonderful. It does feel like you're going back in time. Hello. And here begins the walk back. You remember I said we're driving here that feels like the daily commute to the stone circles, and that's also one of the ancestors was showing me here, that they had a daily commute to the stones, and that they would lay offerings at the base of the stones. The stones are multifunctional, and some of the things they would do is lay their seeds at the bottom of the I'm just getting these beautiful tingles across my body. It's like, yes, John, yes, that's exactly right. So they would lay seeds for their crops, such as grain, at the base. You remember we saw those stones at the base of the large standing stones there. And so they would plant the crops here. And the beauty is, hello, a wee stamp, and they're running off. The beauty is that because I always thought that I had limited understanding, which was that they would place the seeds at the bottom of standing stones to help with the fertility of the crops, so you'd have strong crops. And they're explaining to me, yes, that's the first step, but also to feel into this, which is this new information to me, which is that if you germinate the seeds of your crops at the base of these standing stones, what happens is you also experience when you eat those same crops with the standing stone germinated seeds, you experience this ingestion of ancient wisdom and knowledge. And so they also believed that it would help your health, in short. So you're wonderful for your own health. Isn't that phenomenal? And it's so simple, right? You know, you create a fantastic monument, you know, you fill it with beautiful energy, and then you place your seeds there. They said, okay, and they said the same for water. And then once you've done that, you plant the seeds, eat them, and you get this beautiful, saturated, activated food, and it has this beautiful effect on you. They did say that, and I've caught glimpses of this before, is these ancestors are saying that they could also use it for procreation, so for lovemaking, conception rituals at the stone circles, and that would have the same effect. So you'd get, it would allow the ancient wisdom of these different galactic races to be embodied within the child that was conceived at the site. And that was, they said that was very sacred, and it wasn't for everybody. It was more for chieftains and people of spiritual significance. We would call them, like elders or shamans. Wow. A lot more people have turned up now. It's so cool to see them. I thought I had enough to integrate from the last visit, and they're giving me all this beautiful new information. Well, they're certainly giving me my fill. They not so obviously to me. So that was a barn house Neolithic village. But yeah, not so obviously to me, I'd created enough space with just enough integration to receive a little bit more, which is phenomenal. So thank you. I'm not going to go back in the circle because my time there is complete. My cycle there is complete. My ancestors said if I can spare the time to also take a look at my Google Maps history, which would show, they said it would show an interesting pattern of my visits over the last 3 days. So if I remember to do that, I'll take a look, or remind me in the comments to do it. I know when you guys ask me to do something, I feel far more compelled. And it would be lovely to come back here when it's dark, because at the moment in the winter, in the summer at night, it's too light. Nothing shows up. There's no stars, etc. But it'd be lovely to see that in the future. Well, one last thank you to the stones. Thank you, stones. Closing any portals, gateways, and access points. Come on, Patch. This way. Come on. Kind of don't want to stop the video. Just revel in this for forever. It's lovely. Wow, we did it. Well done, everyone. Let's make our way back to the campsite. And just making sure I don't hit the car behind me. There we go. We did it. Well, that was incredible. Orkney, you never fail to disappoint. Oh, it's showing me to go right. Do I? That's not the way I came. Well, maybe it's because I'm being guided to go back to the Ring of Broadcourt. Just to drive past it. That was funny because the GPS wasn't updating, and it basically just says either way, like go either way. So here we go. Yeah, just phenomenal. Thank you so much. Stones, thank you. Ancestors. Oh, there's a swan and some beautiful ducklings. I just want to drive so slow around here, but I know it's a really busy road. And that Neolithic barn house village, wow. So I guess that big, my guess is the reason they call it, the modern name for it, the barn house, is because of the size of the big building. Just make sure I don't hit any other vehicles. Wow, look at this guy. There's a guy down here fishing. So really it's quite shallow. He's maybe 10 meters out, and it's just knee deep. Which is very cool. Yeah, there was a message. Whoa, that barn, this building here has these big flagstones as tiles. I've never seen that before. Yeah, it was really interesting. The pottery that we saw in the Barnhouse Prehistoric Village was the pattern in the pottery. They said, "Oh, we've been able to, detect those similar patterns across mainland Scotland and even the south of England." And what the ancestors there at the Barnhouse Village showed me was, and I feel the most verbal of the ancestors was the chieftain's wife, and then also there was one of the children there who was very psychically gifted. Well, this guy's running over. Or they got stuck. Oh, that's okay.
We've got them halfway. They've just been.
Oh, what a shame.
Below,
That's no problem. Yeah, the recovery. I think they've just they've gotten stuck. They must have reversed. So I think the recovery vehicle is just seeing if they can tow them out. I thought there'd been an accident and someone was really stuck, but no. Wow, they made it. They got out. Fantastic. Well, they won't need to put them up on the recovery vehicle then. That's good news for everybody. Wow. I'm sure that's a 4x4 car, so yeah, they're pretty lucky. Well, it's lovely to spend a moment with the Ring of Broadway here. And that looks like one of the rangers. Orkney recovery. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, it's a bit of adrenaline. Oh wow, it's like a huge bog where the back wheel was off, so I think the back wheel was just hanging off the edge. Well, thank you, Bring It Broadgo, and thank you for helping unite humanity. These things always happen for a reason, and it's just a beautiful energy as you drive next to the Ring of Broadgo. And yeah, I don't feel guided to or compelled to connect with it again, to walk around it again. Wonderful. And I would come back again. You know, my wife was so close to offering to looking after Patch for the week. And yes, it would have made a difference to the place I could have visited, but I also knew that it was important to come back to the same sites repeatedly. And I'm glad I did, because I can see why it's important now. Is because I can see why it's important was because I need a lot of time and energy to integrate what I experienced. so I'm glad about that. Yeah, please let me know your experiences. Quite a few of you have said that you have memories of being here in other lives, and you've asked me in the comments. You've said, I feel that I remember the place from a past life, and then you either do or don't ask. You know, my opinion on it, and my guidance is, if it feels very familiar to you, there's, you know, only you know the strength of the emotion, then yes, it's very much real. And you might experience some, I just described this sensation I have with past lives, is that acknowledging that I wasn't Jon in past lives, I was someone else. I had a different name and I had a different personality. You know, I remember being Lyran. I remember being this mix of Andromedan and reptilian being in other lives. You know, I remember the feeling of being a different humanoid, and so that my body was different and my personality felt different. I felt, you know, some of them I felt more meek and timid than Jon, others much more confident and much bigger and stronger and forceful. I've just taken the wrong turn. Well, maybe there's no such thing as wrong turns, just unexpected turns. So we're just being guided to keep going, so I will. And the time looks about right. We're about 30 minutes from the campsite. So yeah, if you feel those past life memories bubbling up inside of you, I'd encourage you to ask those feelings more questions. You know, ask your heart, ask your guides, and it doesn't need to be answered all at once, right? You don't need to. You know, when I'm recalling these past life memories, they've often built up over many experiences. You know, I've had recollections of past life memories over and over and over until eventually I'm able to integrate it and accept it or reject it. I feel that almost exclusively all past life memories do eventually integrate. But I also feel that some of them are like a past life memory visiting. It's just like a memory in our own lives, right? Just because we remember a place doesn't mean to say we lived there. Doesn't mean to say that we were native or indigenous people to that area. This camper van that we're just passing is the same as the one that we used to have. Actually, ours was bigger than that. The one before this. Peat Fire Tail Evenings. Wow, I bet they're fun. And Scar Brae's just down there. Oh, it feels that I've just been guided back close to Scar Brae as well. It's incredible these places are all together. What a magical, sacred island mainland Orkney is. I do feel that. I do feel this. In 5,000 years ago, it was a highly sacred space. And it still is sacred. It's just, I'm just saying it's not just these locations that we're visiting that are sacred. It's many. And I feel really honored to connect with that. Because this whole island is filled with such beauty. And although this little area has the most famous spaces, wow, look at this big ring stone wall. It's really cool. It's like a little quarry in the middle. Yeah, I do feel more will be discovered. It was lovely. Those ancestors were describing at the Barnhouse Prehistoric Village the salt, I believe it's a salt lock next to it, that if you were to scan beneath the water, you'd find a lot more villages. Also the signs at Ring of Brodgar said there's only ever been 2 archaeological digs. Oh, that sounded like my psionics box falling over. It's interesting, I was guided to bring the psionics camera. It takes a lot of effort to hook up and copy all the files off, so I don't feel compelled to do that for this video. But I always, work through all of the psionics footage at once, so I will be checking back and I'll post that separately and go back and add a link to the comments in this video or something, just to say, hey, here's the footage, here's anything interesting. But when I looked at it, it was just very, very much like white out, which I should expect that during the day. It's a night vision camera. It's designed for high sensitivity and low light, not for high light and low sensitivity. Yeah, really beautiful. I'll definitely miss the Orkney Islands. Isn't that a funny thing to say? I feel that I've missed it from my previous lives. I don't feel I'll actually miss it because I've had such a rich adventure here. You might be watching this video thinking, John, there's so many more questions I have and so many more things I'd like to know about, and yet my mind and my heart just feel filled, full of as much, and if not a bit more, both energy and messages experiences than I can cope with in one visit. I do feel physically it takes a toll as well, in that I needed a lot of rest, a lot of long sleep, and yes, I did have a very long drive up, and that was very tiring. You know, the 9 or so hours up. I don't even know what it was door to door in kind of calendar time, but it was an epic journey up, and it'll be an epic journey back. So I'm glad today's been much more gentle. And really interestingly, not going around the ring of Brodgar did feel like it helped conserve some of that energy. So I can highly recommend the Orkney Islands. And, excuse me, I would suggest if you come here, even in the peak of summer, bring a selection of clothing ranging from definitely bring like a cagoule, like a rain jacket, bring shorts, and bring jeans and a top. Bring all these different clothing items, and do a little bit of research. Not every place is free. Those main places I visited, I'm so glad they're free, because I saw them 3 times. And then if you're interested in Skara Brae, fantastic, but the other, if you don't want to pay for it and you want something dog friendly, I feel it's just as much fun going to the Barnhouse Prehistoric Village, which is hidden away behind the Stanness stones. So definitely take a visit to those. If you don't have a dog, or someone can look after your dog, I'd also recommend the burial mounds. They're phenomenal to visit. So although I've not seen them in this trip, take a look. And we just passed the sign for Kirkwall, the capital of Orkney. I'd also recommend visiting Kirkwall. I remember it well. I'm sure it's changed a lot in the last 32 years, but it was really beautiful. We're heading back to Stromness, and this mountain that you see in front of us is, in fact, right in front of us is the campsite. It's just been so phenomenal. Yeah, please share with me your experiences. I'd love to hear all about what energy you felt, any synchronicities you have, anything you saw, like in the graffiti of the stones that I didn't say out probably out loud, or maybe I did say it, you know, and what you'd consider visiting here. I would definitely consider doing running a retreat here. That'd be a lot of fun. I think it would be quite an epic organisation. You'll see the ferries in. Yeah, it'd be a lot to organise. But it'd be so wonderful to run a retreat here and to visit these sites. And maybe you can run a retreat and get a discount. It'd be so cool to be able to get permission to go and enter the Ring of Brodgar as well, because they must do it it aligns with the winter solstice sun, so that would be really cool to do. So we go right here, so we don't go out into town. And if not, even to have a small group of people connecting with the other areas, doing a short meditation in each would be fantastic. So if you live locally here and you're watching this video and you're like, oh, I'd love to support Jon in running a retreat here, then let me know. That would be so much fun. I just imagine someone driving us around in a little tour bus. You can only get 4 people in my camper van, so that would be a very... Oh, shoot. Sorry, Patch. I almost went completely in the wrong place. Too busy chatting away. Patch is fine. But yeah, it's just phenomenal to come here. It'd be so lovely to share with others. You may be able to fly into Orkney. I'm sure I saw a YouTube video from the, what are they called? The roaming Radfords, and the husband drove all the way up, and his wife flew in. So perhaps you can fly directly into Orkney, and hopefully it's not one of these airports where you land on the beach. I think that's not. I don't think that is a place in Orkney that does that. Anyway, I'm sure beaches are actually pretty good to land on. Nice, hard sand is good if your pilot knows how to do it and is prepared well. Just make sure you do it at low tide. Yeah, just been phenomenal. I suspect this will be the last video you'll see me driving around here. Certainly during the day. It'll be night time when I go tomorrow. That said, it doesn't get dark here, so it'll be, if I'm filming tomorrow, it'll be a twilight. So yeah, we're going to go and do all the camper van services, so fill up with water, empty the toilet, and then go and do video editing, which I've kept quite lightweight, including these quite long videos, and I think some of them have been in an hour, right? Like a long time. I just really wanted to immerse myself in these moments. And if it bores you with me rabbiting on like this after visiting a place, I hope that at least you enjoy the view and enjoy the some of the thoughts, the debriefing of messages. I find them really helpful for my integration of the experiences I've just had. And yeah, for these 3 days, just phenomenal. And I'm sure I'll do some videos on the drive back. They're amazing at keeping me awake, which I love. Well, I love being awake while I'm driving. That's super helpful. And I also really enjoy talking. As you can probably tell, I enjoy talking a lot. And receiving all your kind comments is lovely. And I love responding to them all. Yes, the more, the busier my channel gets, the more time I spend responding, but I love that. I love meeting people, feel free to, it's never a burden, it takes me milliseconds to read what you've written. So if you want to tell me where you're from, anything about your experiences, you want to spend a bit of time in the comments, please share away. It's never a burden. And I'm sure it helps all with the algorithms and all those things. And feel free to ask me questions if there's subjects you'd like me to cover, there's questions that you have. I really enjoy those too. It's all a beautiful part of the journey, so thank you. And the tide is out now, which is nice. It's looking lovely. And yeah, it's so funny, I was here for 3 days, and on the last day noticed that these big orange things, these trailers, are saunas, the hot and cold therapy. So you do your sauna, you come out, and you run into the sea, which is very cool. There's a sailing club to the right. And good news is that the motorhome fill-up place is nice and empty. 3 tents here tonight. I know the guy in the green, I've spoken to him, green tent, I've spoken to him a couple of times. And yeah, these 2 other tents are new. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Let's go and fill up. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. It's been such an honour, and sending you all so much love, love, love. Take care. Thank you. Sending love.